Today we'll be making dog treats using an apple. Here, that's half an apple, and pumpkin. Okay, let's get these. Okay, and the apple. I've already cut the pumpkins into 1-inch cubes and boiled it in mineral water, okay, until it's soft. Now I'm cutting the apples into small slices, small bits. For the pumpkin, I only use like 2 slices, and for the apple, at least a third of the whole apple. After the pumpkins were done or were already soft, I placed it in a container and left the water there. And now I'm placing the apples and added some more mineral water. After boiling the apples for about 5 minutes, I then mashed the pumpkins. Make sure to mash it well, and make sure there are no big lumps of pumpkin left. I then placed the apples, okay, and mashed them a little bit with the pumpkin. By the way, you can use other fruits like bananas. I only use the apple because we have leftover. The apples need not be totally mashed. They can have small bits. Using the leftover mineral water that we used for boiling, I placed the Gelo or gelatin, powdered Gelo, which is unsweetened and natural. There are no flavors. And I mixed it well with the water. When the Gelo became thick, a little thick, I poured it into our pumpkin and apple mixture. Okay. By the way, I'll be putting all the ingredients in the description box so that you'll have a guide. So mix it a little and let it cool for a minute or two, but don't make it too long because the Gelo would totally harden. So I've prepared our small ice trays and placed bits of apples on each. And I'll be putting the sauce or the Gelo or the liquid inside after, okay? Just a reminder, we won't be placing these in the freezer, but instead we'll be placing them in the chiller, because when you place Gelo or gelatin in a freezer, it'll liquefy. It'll form bits of into liquid, like it'll melt. It'll eventually melt when you put it out of the freezer. So we put it in a chiller instead. Okay, everything's done, so I'll be placing it in the chiller. For the baked pumpkin and oats dog treat, the same procedure, applies, boil the pumpkin until it is soft and mash it. So we'll be using instant oatmeal, which is easier to use, and we'll be mixing it with our pumpkin. The amount of pumpkin and oats will depend on you. What I've used is 5 slices of pumpkin and 2 packs of these oats. Mix well. After it is totally mixed, we will now prepare our baking pan, or what I'm going to use is a Pyrex dish, so which is oven safe. Okay, we'll make balls out of this mixture. Get a spoonful of mixture and make it in a ball and roll it just using your hands, your palms. Okay, and flatten the ball into like a cookie shape so it'll look like a cookie. If you want a smaller cookies, a teaspoon of the mixture would be okay. It depends on the size of your dog. If you have a bigger dog, you can have a spoonful, and for smaller dogs, a teaspoon would be good. By the way, these cookies will not expand when they are cooked. Okay. After this, we'll be placing them in the oven under 350 degrees for 45 minutes. I removed the Gelo treats from the ice tray and placed it in a container. So the cookies are not too hard, but is definitely chewy, soft and chewy. I also placed them in a container with a lid.